Hello Year 3 and welcome to your first comprehension video of Term 6. Now we've been doing a lot of work last term on non-fiction comprehensions, and I know we've done a fair amount on fiction as well in class, but we have only done one poem. You may remember last year we did, or earlier in the year, the poem we did was Walking with My Iguana. So I thought we'd start this term with a poem. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the poem to you. It's on the screen so you can read it yourself, and then work through the questions, go through the questions and see how you might answer them, and then you'll be able to answer them. Now the poem and the questions have already been emailed to your parents, and they're attached to the weekly email, so it may be you'll be able to access them from there and print them off. If not, you can pause the screen, read the information on the screen, read the questions, then when you answer them you can write one and then you write the answer. But first things first, let me read you the poem. And the poem is called Scissors by Allan Ahlberg. And as you can see, it is set in a classroom where I happen to be right now, similar to the one I'm in now. So, scissors. Nobody leave the room. Everyone listen to me. We had 10 pairs of scissors at 2:30, and now there's only 3. 7 pairs of scissors disappeared from sight. Not one of you leaves till we find them. We can stop here all night. Scissors don't lose themselves, melt or away or explode. Scissors have not got legs of their own to run off down the road. We really need those scissors. That's what makes me mad. It was 7 pairs. If it was 7 pairs of children we'd lost, well, it wouldn't be so bad. I don't want to hear excuses. Don't anyone speak. Just ransack this room till we find them, or we'll stop here all week. So that's the poem, and I'm sure you know that your teachers never speak to you like that. But it's a lovely poem, and it's an interesting poem. You might want to read it through a few more times just to familiarise yourself. Maybe you can try giving it some actions as well, to really get to know it. But I do think it's quite a funny poem. So, well, remember, the first thing you need to do with the questions is read them carefully, underline the key words and work out exactly what the question is asking you, and then you can answer it. Now, you know that all of the information on the questions is in the text. So unless it asks your opinion, it's looking for you to understand and comprehend the words written in the text. So that's what you need to do. Remember, answer the questions carefully. So work out what it wants, find the information in the text, then use the information to answer the questions. If it asks for your opinion, and some of these questions do, then you need to base your opinion on the information in the text. You can't just make it up. So the first question says, what time of day is it? Now, you need to think very carefully about that, because it doesn't actually say in the text exactly what the time of day is, but it does imply it by, if you look at the early bits of the poem, it does kind of imply when it might be during the school day. So you have to use the information you find to explain how you know, and that's part B. So use the information in the text to explain why you think it's a certain time of day during the school day. Second question is, why is the teacher cross? So what do you think has made that particular teacher so angry and so cross? I know you very rarely see your teachers that angry and cross, which is a good thing, but why do you think that teacher is so cross? Use the evidence in the text. Now, line 23 says, just ransack this room till we find them. What the question is asking you is to suggest another word the poet could have used instead of ransack. So what does ransack mean? In what context has it been used? And what other word could you use to replace it that would still have similar meaning? Maybe you can think about that. Why do you think the writer mentions scissors having legs? That's in verse 3. So why is the writer talking about scissors with legs? Because scissors have handles, but they don't really have legs. What makes you think the writer has deliberately chosen to talk about scissors having legs or not having legs? And why is that a good analogy? That's in verse 3. Question 5. In the poem, the teacher is cross because scissors have disappeared. Write 2 things about the scissors that you know to be true. So it's information from the text. You're looking for 2 facts from the text about the scissors, things that you know are true. So it's not inferred, it's what in the text. 2 things, remember, it's asking for 2 things. So don't write 3, don't write 1, don't write 4. 2 things, and they've got to be based on the text. Now, question 6, the last question, is actually asking for your opinion, because it says, what do you think will happen next in the classroom? Now, we don't know what's going to happen next. The poem doesn't actually tell us exactly what's likely to happen next. So you are going to have to give your opinion, but you need to base your opinion on the information that is available. So read the poem carefully, then work out what you think is going to happen next, but you've got to justify your explanation. So, for example, if you were to say, well, I think a spaceship lands in the classroom and a Dalek comes out and zaps the teacher, well, that is unlikely to happen. And where is your evidence in the text to say that's likely to happen? So you need to justify your opinion by using examples from the text to say why you think that will happen. So think very carefully, read the poem, look for the information, have a go at this one, and then next week's video we will go through the answers of this one and set the next one for you to read. So I think it's a lovely poem. So feel free to wind back the screen, pause it, listen to the poem a few times, read it to yourself a few times, then ask the questions. So enjoy, and I will see you next week. Bye.